I'm Chris from MMA Island. Today I'll be interviewing Deividas Danyla. Deividas, how's it going?
I'm great. It's okay.
Yeah.
Still,
How's
still
everything?
not in proper training camp, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
How's everything going in Thailand right now?
At the moment, I'm back home, so I think
Oh, in
it's
Lithuania, right?
yeah, I'm Lithuanian now, and I think it's a good choice to stay at home now because in Lithuania it's a really good situation right now. There's not so much people uh, having coronavirus. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really free. We have everything open, gyms. So it's okay.
Yeah. And talking about Lithuania, you grew up there. How was your childhood growing up in Lithuania?
I was always active kid, and I've tried a lot of sports since I moved to the Muay Thai gym at the age of 10. My father's friend just brought me to the Muay Thai gym when I was 10 years old. So I'm in the sports already for 18 years. So
Mm-hmm. And when you started training Muay Thai at 10 years old, did you ever think that you were gonna be doing it professionally, like as a career?
when I was really young, it was like extra activity for me, you know. When I was 10 years old, I was not thinking about professional career. But after 3 months of training, I started competing. I lost my first fight. I was crying all day, but it was a good push for me to train harder. And my second fight was a win. And after second fight, I get more motivation for training. And I was fighting every like 2 weeks, every 3 weeks when I was kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got around 100 amateur fights in Muay Thai. So it was uh, till 18 years old, I was fighting amateur. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like in Lithuania, you turning pro when you become 18. So I had I turned pro 18 years old. So I I think my childhood was always trainings because I was not good in the school, and
Mm-hmm.
I did 20% in school and 80% in the trainings. So yeah, it pushed me to become who I am now.
Yeah. And let's say you didn't turn pro in Muay Thai. What do you think you would be doing right now? Like, what would your job be if you weren't fighting professionally?
Yeah, in Lithuania, it's really hard to to get good salary from fighting, and usually it's like part-time uh, hobbies for many of fighters in Lithuania. So most of them is working, and when they have time, they're training. Also, they fighting, even they fighting pro, like, but they're not getting good money. So my decision was if I want to be a pro fighter, I need to move to Thailand, get more experience, and be scouted by bigger organizations. So in 2017, I moved to Thailand for 1.5 years because I felt that in Lithuania I'm not growing anymore. I was
Mm-hmm.
beating everyone, even in Europe. And the biggest decision was to move to Thailand, uh, pick up my old savings, and stay there. It was hard, but it worked.
Mm-hmm. And how did you find your training camp in Phuket, or Phuket? How did you find the people that you would eventually work with?
At first, my first travel to Thailand was in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I moved there for 6 months, my good friend, and we was already thinking about training, and fighting. So in 6 months, I had 7 fights in Thailand. First, first time when I was in Thailand, and I had 2 years break because I was back in Lithuania, and after these 2 years, I felt that I'm like not growing anymore in the sport. I was thinking about I'm I'm finishing my career and starting to do something else. The first option was to teach Muay Thai because I love what I'm doing, and the second option was to just quit Muay Thai and do something else. So my 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 wife, now my wife, before was girlfriend, uh, she pushed me to chase my dreams, and she said, "What you want to do to grow up as a fighter?" And I told, "I think we need to move to Thailand," and she accepted that, and we moved to Thailand, and I started to do what I want. So it was a good push in 2017 to go back to Thailand and spend the 1.5 years. And I moved back to Lithuania once I get a contract.
Hmm. And so you're in Lithuania now, but what do you miss most about Thailand? Is it the food, the people, the places? Like, what do you miss most about Thailand, and what's the best? What are some of the best things to do over there?
I think I miss everything about Thailand. It's really nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you overtrain, you training like, and you don't get a proper traveling, so it's exhausting. It was 1.5 year. It was really hard because I was only training and fighting every month, so there was no breaks between the fights because you win the fight, after 3 days you're back in the gym training again for the next fight, and that you're doing the same. Like, I did 1.5 years the same, and after a year I start feeling that I'm gonna broke up because I started getting more injuries. I was overtraining all the time because in Thailand it's really hard trainings. It's not like back home here, and I started to feel that it can ruin my career because I was getting more injuries, and it's good that the One Championship scouted me in the 2018, I think July, yeah, around June, and I realized, okay, after this first fight in one, I go back home because I need to recover properly, and now I'm just moving to Thailand for my training camps.
Hmm.
I'm not
And you
living
said,
anymore here.
yeah, and you got signed to one in 2018, just like you said. But how was it like getting the call from such a big promotion? Because I like they're really big in Europe and China. But how was it like to get the call to fight for one?
I think they scouted me because I was fighting in the good promotions there in Thailand. The Top King, MX, Muay Extreme. They are like well-known promotions who doing the fights, foreigners against Thais, and like big level like fighters, around 200, 150 fights, the big names. And I did great fights. And one day they just said, "Oh, we want to see you in one," and they offered me a 6 fights contract.
Hmm.
I think
And
there is a scouts in Asia, so there was a couple in Thailand, there's a couple in other countries. So,
hmm.
and at this time, 2018, they just started to do one super series because there was only mixed martial arts fights, and they started to do one super series, kickboxing and Muay Thai fights. So at that moment, they was looking for new fighters.
Hmm. And I know with one, they also do MMA events, and I'm a big MMA fan of. But would
Yeah.
you ever consider doing MMA, or do you think you're gonna stick with kickboxing for the rest of your life?
At the moment, I always like watching the fights and thinking about maybe I need to turn to MMA, and it's a good time because we have a really good jiu-jitsu here
Hmm.
back home. There's a couple teachers who have a good level at it, and like belts from Gracie Academy or something like this. And we have a couple good MMA fighters fighting in organizations. One of the girls was fighting in UFC, but she didn't get a contract. But there is a good wrestling also. So sometimes I think, oh, maybe I need to turn up to the MMA one day. And I think at the moment there is a good opportunity for me to do that, because I have kind of free time now. I'm teaching and training, but not like in training camp. I'm not preparing for anything right now because everything is closed and it's impossible to get to Asia right now. So I have a good time to think about my career and maybe to start doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Yeah, and I know one's trying to get back, with their events with no audience. When do you think we'll
Yeah,
see
they're
you back
having
in a
tomorrow.
cage?
I think I'm a good striker, but I need to work more on my. I did ground like jiu-jitsu before, like 6-7 years ago, but I never tried to mix it with my striking. But I see many good strikers turning up to MMA right now. I think it's not easy, but it's possible for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw one of your fights back in the day. I think it might have been 2018, but one of your opponents tried to, I think, take you down during the kickboxing fights. So like, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember that, but how was it
Yeah, I
like
remember.
trying to get a takedown on you?
I don't I don't remember, but it was funny. I didn't thought that he wanted to pull me down, but it was funny. And I like the cage system. Even I'm just fighting Muay Thai or kickboxing. I like to be in the cage. I like to strike with 4 ounces gloves. Yeah, I really like it. It's much different than fighting in the normal boxing gloves, 10 ounce. It's much different. So I already have background from striking background. Already have experience in fighting with 4 ounces gloves. So I think I'm not scared of punches. I'm more scared of ground game. If I would turn up to MMA one day.
Yeah, because we saw like I don't know if you know Israel Adesanya. I think that was his big problem too because he was a big kickboxer, but he
Yeah,
learned a lot of takedown defense. But then he eventually became UFC champion. So I think with kickboxers, it's kind of all about takedown defense and keeping the fight standing. Because we've seen Gokhan Saki, I believe he
yeah.
went to MMA, but we've seen a lot of people find success in that. And
There is
you know,
one guy I just saw the fight. I think last or UFC Island 2. There is one guy from Kyrgyzstan. I know him from Muay Thai, and he turned up MMA. I think he had some fights in Asia, not big promotions, but he now signed with UFC and he did great. What's his name? I know that he's from some Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. So he got a performance of the night, like a fight of the night bonus. UFC Island.
yeah, is it Fiziev?
Yeah, Fiziev.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the kick,
I
yeah.
saw him many times fighting in Muay Thai and his background.
Yeah, great fighter, great fighter. Like I watched that fight live. I
Yeah,
mean, his stand up is amazing. It just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's top level. And
Yeah,
with training right now, it's Corona's COVID has shut down a lot of things. How has your training schedule changed? And I've seen videos of you kicking down trees. But how has training been for you in 2020?
Uh, the first step like was training outside because everything was closed. At the moment, everything is open, so I have opportunities to mix out. I'm going to the Lithuanian boxing teams trainings. There is like good boxers, so I'm trying to to improve my boxing skills. Then I'm traveling around cities because we don't have good training here in my city. So I'm trying to get to the guys who are more experienced. So I'm traveling around cities. Like it's not far away. It's not like USA. It's like hundreds of kilometers around. Like so I'm trying to get more experience from other fighters. There is a couple good ones, and I'm also teaching like full day. So I don't know. My schedule is quite okay, and I'm also doing strength and conditioning. And at the moment, I think I do like 70% strength and conditioning and 30% of striking and Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm training more on my like building my power and strength.
yeah. And the last question I had for you, I didn't want to take much of your time, but your nickname is the Lithuanian Savage. Like, who gave you that nickname? What's the story behind how you got that nickname?
Yeah, so the nickname is from Thailand, and I got the nickname in the promotion Muay Extreme, where I was fighting with Muay Thai with MMA gloves, and
Mm-hmm.
all of my fights is like back and forth action, and I think my fights is exciting, and then this is the 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 thing that I got the contract with one because the Thais was really interesting in my fights, and it was like canvas is all bloody and like no
Mm-hmm.
surrender, fighting till the last second, and they and what and one tournament, I think it was Top King, and they randomly put my name and nickname, and I think, oh, it's gonna be my nickname now because I had a name like before,
Yeah.
and like, oh, I think, okay, it's good one, and I start and many now started to mention me like Lithuanian Savage, so it's I think I like it.
Yeah, me too. It's honestly, I think it's probably one of the best nicknames, and it matches your fighting style too. So because like your fights are
Yeah, so
always
I think it's
exciting.
matched my fighting style. Yeah, so
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Deividas, for taking the time. Do you want to say anything to your fans back home, or is there anything that you want to say to the people viewing this right now?
Uh, I think everything gonna when everything gonna return, I'm really excited about getting back to the ring, and I think people are also waiting for me. So stay tuned, and I think maybe not this year, but start of next, I'm gonna back to the proper training camps and
Hmm.
fighting the best in the world and chasing my dreams to become one championship title holder, champion, world one.